Welcome. Inequalities is the topic. Inequalities, and inequalities. I'll try by all means to make sure that I calculate everything on this page. Even though it's going to be a challenge for me because I have to write little things, but I'll try and fit in. But okay, we have 3a, which says represent the inequality minus 3 smaller than x smaller or equal to 3 on the number line below. So this one should be a very simple one. So again, if you know your inequalities, so minus 3 smaller than x, and also x is smaller or equal to 2. So if you are to rearrange that one so that you start with an x, you get something like, we start off with the last part, so you get x, my pen, let me take the blue one, so x is smaller or equal to 2, and then the other one will be x is greater than negative 3. So those are our two inequalities that we have. So x smaller or equal to 2. So this, we are at this point, so we draw our circle here. So when it says smaller or equal to, so it means we are going to shade this thing. And then x is greater than minus 3. So this is our minus 3. So if x is greater, it means we are going this direction. For x is small or equal to, we are going that direction. So as a result, we're going to have we are just going to have that. So that doesn't look nice. Sorry, right, that's much better. So this one will be fully shaded, so that will represent that inequality. Okay, part B. Again, we are supposed to show working on this sheet, so I'm trying to do that. Find 3 inequalities which define the region shaded in the diagram. So basically here we have 3 inequalities. So we have this one, we have that one, and we have the diagonal one. So all these are 3 inequalities that have been brought together and that have brought that shaded region that is being referenced to. So it will be easy to get this one. Interestingly, I think that's a solid line. So for that one, it's going in that's the y direction. And here we have our x direction. Just giving you a moment or two to digest that one. So for us to be able to get this one, definitely this is x is equal to 4 here. X is equal to 4 there. But our x is not going to this region. So in other words, our x is smaller or equal to 4y because it's a solid line, this one. If it was a broken line, then we're going to just say x is smaller than 4. But x is smaller and also equal to 4. So it will give us this region on this side which is the wanted region, which also has this shaded part. So that will give us x is smaller or equal to 4. So that would be inequality number 1. So for the inequality number 2, let me put a green color so that which will be this one. Again that one is in the on the y-axis there. So this is going to be this one is a very simple one. Y from this one is, it shows that y, let me write it on the other side, shows that y is equal to 0. But again, we notice that this region is not wanted, but y is incrementing. So in other words, y is greater than 0. But again, it's a solid line, so y is greater or equal to 0. So that will be inequality number 2. So we have this one, first one, x is smaller or equal to 4. And then we have this one, x is greater or equal to 0. That will be inequality number 2. And then for inequality number 3, which other color can I use? I think this one. Let me try that one. So we want this part. That's the inequality number 3. So how do we calculate that one? So it means we need an equation that gives us that line. But from that equation, we are going to formulate an inequality. So first of all, how do we calculate excuse me for that. How do we calculate the equation of a straight line? So first of all, we need our gradient. So we need points first of all again. So we're going to take this point. So that's point 0, 0. And then we are going to take that point xy, that's 4 on the x-axis and 2 on the y-axis. So it's 4, 2. 4, 2. So we have 2 points, 4, 2 and 0, 0. So to calculate our y, it's change in y over change in x. So this is equal to change in y, so give us a 2 minus 0 over 4 minus a 0. That's going to give us a half as our gradient. So now for our equation, it's going to be y minus y1 over x minus x1. This is supposed to give us half according to that. So this is going to be y. If I take, say that one, y minus 0 over x minus 0, this is supposed to give us a half. So y over x is equal to a half. So y is equal to, if you multiply both sides, half x, like that. So that gives us the equation of this line. So from that line, we are supposed to formulate an inequality, which helps us to find a region that is wanted and also a region that is not wanted. So if you are to take a region, let's say we take this point. So this point will be, this is 1, 3. That's 1, 3. So we want to substitute this part into this equation of ours, because this part is not wanted. So y xy, so it's equals to 3, put our sign there, and then a half multiplied by 1, which is equal to half. So this condition is supposed to be false. So how does it become false? It becomes false when we say 3 is smaller, or even, let me put a red one. When we say 3 is smaller or equal to x, we know that this condition becomes false, of which if this region, we don't want this region, so it will be false. So in other words, the equation is true when we are saying y is greater or equal to half x. So that will be the third inequality, y greater or equal to half x. Don't know, something's happening there, but y is greater or equal to half x. I wanted to utilize all my space, but let me go down a bit. Right, solve that one. So you're going to solve an inequality. So we are going to solve minus 12 is smaller or equal to 4 bracket m minus 2 smaller than 10. So to make this easy, we just split where the inequality signs are, and then we come up with 2 inequalities. So right, so the first inequality will be this one, just before the inequality sign. So we have our inequality. This will be inequality number 1. So for us to get inequality number 2, again, that will be inequality number 2. So we have 2 inequalities, minus 12 smaller or equal to 4 bracket m minus 2. And then we have another one. So this will be 1. And then the second one will be 4 bracket m minus 2 less than 10. This will be number 2. So if we are to calculate the first one from something happened, sorry for that one, it's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen at all. So from the first one, we are going to have minus 12. In fact, let me add some space there so that it's readable. Let me change this to blue. So minus 12 is smaller or equal to, if we are to simplify that one, we get 4m minus 8. So this is equal to minus 12. This one plus 8 is smaller than or equal to 4m. So this will give us minus 4 is smaller or equal to 4m. We divide both sides by m. Remember, if you ever divide by a negative sign, the inequality sign automatically changes, but we are dividing by a positive one, so that gives us negative 1. So negative 1 is smaller or equal to m. In other words, m is greater or equal to minus 1. So that's from the first equation. From the second equation, inequality, sorry, it's m minus 2 smaller than 10. Simplifying that one, that's 4m minus 8 is smaller than 10. So 4m is smaller than, one goes over that, that's 10 plus 8. So 4m is smaller than 18. Divide both sides by 4. So m is thinking of equations here. So m is going to be smaller than 4 and a half. So those will be two inequalities. So m is greater or equal to -1, and the other one, m is smaller than 4 and a half. So we now need to write this one as a single inequality. So this will be the smaller part. So -1 is smaller or equal to m is smaller to 4 and a half. So that will give us our inequalities. So I hope you enjoyed. Any questions and comments, please just let me know and I'll respond to each and every one of your questions or your comments. Have a good day and enjoy.